So yeah, October is basically over. It's October 29th, which means it's time for our week 4 transaction video. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This is a life well spent. My name is Kelly, and on this channel I document my financial journey, and this, like I said earlier, is a weekly transaction video. Now, I started doing this because I used to keep track of how much I was spending, especially in categories that I had a tendency to overspend in. So, like groceries, restaurant, entertainment, fun, money, personal spending, that sort of thing. And it was easy to keep track of with cash, right? Like I just, I did a cash envelope system. So I was like, okay, there's only $20 left in this account to spend. That's all they have left. That means I spent, if I started at 100, that means I spent 80 because I've got 20 left. Um, and then when COVID hit, I stopped using cash and was doing a lot of like purchasing, online and doing like, contactless pickup and stuff like that. And I was finding that I was really, really overspending. So I started doing a weekly sort of wrap up of transactions because when I wasn't, I'd get to the end of the month and I'd get to the point where I was trying to reconcile my budget for the month. And I would realize at that point that I was really overspending. But I would have absolutely told you at some point during the month, like when I decided, oh, yeah, I think I will go out to eat tonight. I would have had a conversation with myself that was like, haven't really eaten out at all this month, or like barely at all. I think they went the one time. So I actually have plenty of money left in that category. And I didn't. But I couldn't remember from week to week to week. There's just too much stuff going on. And so I really needed to buckle down because I was finding myself overspending in ways that I wasn't happy about in the end, right? Like it's one thing if something kind of dropped on my plate and all of my personal money had been spent that month and this really amazing thing was going to happen and I was like, I don't have the money but I really want to do this thing." I might not do it. I might choose. I mean, I'll think about whether or not I really wanted to spend the money, but I also might decide in that process that, yeah, actually, I really do want to spend that money. And I know I'm going over, and that's okay. Like, I'm making a conscious decision to go over. I'm not thinking that I am well under still and then finding out afterwards that I'm not. So that was, sort of the big driver behind doing something like this. And I do them, kind of week by week. I don't always do videos, but I will reconcile my budget every week where I'm looking at, what I've spent, make sure any of my transactions from anything really are in there. Now I've gotten to the point where I pretty much just keep to like uh, um, I don't even know how to say this. I have like an emergency credit card that really isn't like for emergencies. It's really for like when I stupidly forget my phone, or like my phone is dead and I've forgotten my wallet and I don't have any other way to pay for anything. So like I keep it in a like a hidden spot in my car. So like cuz I have been out and about at times. Even if I've had my phone with me and been like, "Oh, I can just pay on my phone." Yeah, no, not where I live. Not out in the sticks, man. Sometimes you need cash. So I have some emergency cash, but then I have an emergency credit card too, just for that reason. Like it's not really a I don't have any money and I need to grab a credit card. It's I literally don't have cash on me and I don't have anything else. So every once in a while I'll use that. That is very, very rare. Otherwise, when I go to Target, I have a Target card that gives me like 5% off or something like that. So I will use that there. But otherwise, I just use one card. So it's not necessarily like tons of things. I have a lot of things that I have rearranged so that the money comes out of um I pay for a lot of things with the one card, right? And it just is easier than I just pay that bill off, and I rack up points and travel miles and things like that. So it's the reason I do it that way. But anyway, so it's not like I have to like pull data from like 18 different places. However, I do make sure that once a week I am looking at what I've been spending, and then I kind of compare it to my budget based on how much I want to be spending and things like that. So, without further ado, that has been a long enough explanation. We will get right into my expenditures for the week. I do feel like I need to point out, I'm not sure if you can actually still see them or not. I'm still attempting to dry herbs. We'll see. It feels like they're dry. But now now I'm kind of almost afraid to use them because I feel like I'm going to poison myself. It's fine. It's fine. Um, anyway, so expenses. So this will be from the 22nd of the month through the 28th of the month. I don't know that there's going to be that many more expenditures between tomorrow. Um, today's the 29th, so between tomorrow and the next day, possibly a filling up of the tank. I think I have like half a tank right now though, so I probably can get away without doing that. Nevertheless, that's what we're dealing with right now. So on the 22nd, I stopped to get gas. I filled up probably like half or three quarters of a tank for 34.42. Stopped at the grocery store, 17.56. And this was, if I remember correctly, yeah, we were doing, my mom and my aunt were getting together to do a sewing thing, and we were making this kind of breakfast casserole sort of thing. And we didn't have quite a few ingredients, so I stopped to get them. I forget, I got something else too that made this actually more expensive than it would have been, because I was just picking up, I think, cheese, milk, and thing of tater tots, and that was not all that I bought. But I don't remember what else I got. Isn't that terrible? Maybe some fruit. I don't know. Then I went to Sam's Club for like my actual proper grocery run for my food. This included some vitamins and stuff like that, which makes it way more expensive than it would typically be. But $59.44. I have an expenditure that I wasn't really thinking. I was going to do this in November. Like I had it even in my budget for November, like my preliminary budget. I didn't even think about it. I just was like, "Oh, I have my card with me. Let me do this now." I spent $200 to apply for my level 2 certificate. So, in Pennsylvania, I'm an educator, and when you get your educator's license in Pennsylvania, it's a level 1, and it goes the same thing with an administrative license. I think a superintendent's letter of eligibility is just the letter, though. I have to say, I don't think that there's like a different degree of it. But anyway, so teachers and administrators, and this was for me for my administrative license. You have it's a temporary license essentially. And once you get hired, your clock starts ticking. And that license will last you 6 years. And within 6 years, if you have not met the satisfactory requirements, then your license goes away. You have to like reapply, and there's like a bunch of hoops to jump through, whatever. So you have to like meet the requirements and then apply and pay for your level 2 license. Same thing with, administration. And I just finished up the last class I had to take for that. For teachers, it is 3 years of successful service. You have to take 24 grad credits. And yeah, have 3 years of satisfactory evaluations, which would be 6 total evaluations. You get evaluated in the first half of the year and in the second half of the year for 3 years in a row. Once you hit that, then you can apply for your level 2. For administrators, it's 3 years of successful service, and then it is going through the induction program courses. So there's 3 different ones that you have to take. I just finished my last one towards the end of last month, and like we were told to give them a few weeks to kind of like grade everything and then, submit all the checkoffs. And I kind of thought it was done. And I don't really know what I was thinking. Like I had already, well, actually, I do know. I had applied over the summer knowing, because thinking like my thought was I would apply, because normally when you apply and once you pay for it, like then you get in the queue and it takes a while. So I was like, let me just apply. And I don't know why I didn't pay for it. I think probably because when I thought about applying, I walked to work, so I didn't usually carry like my wallet with me. So I'm guessing what probably happened is I didn't have my wallet and then I didn't think about it. And I got an email a couple weeks ago that was like, "Hey, you have this application that's kind of hanging here. Like you need to do something with it, either pay for it or it'll go away or whatever." And so I was like, "Oh yeah, I really need to do that. I should do that. I should do that." Yeah, it's probably done by now. So anyway, I did. My plan was to do it in November because I didn't budget for it in October. And then I just forgot and did it anyway. And even when I went in to like track it, I looked and I was like, "Oh crap, I was going to do that in November." That's right, because I actually had my work expenses line item had the $200 in it. So yeah, whatever. I'm stupid, but that's fine. It's done. It's over with. I just got approved today, and I was able to download it to my work computer. And now that I think about it, I might put it on my personal computer so that I have it. But we'll see. Anyway, so that's what that is. TIMS. That's what it's called. The Teacher Information Management System or something. Okay, so I went to trivia on Thursday night with my mom. I paid for dinner, but it was my mom's turn to pay. I just put it on my Chase Sapphire card because I said this earlier in one of my videos. I'm not actually sure which one, maybe the week 2 transaction video. I applied for a Chase Sapphire card and I would like to get the 60,000 travel points that comes with it. But in order to do that, you have to spend $4,000 in 3 months, or I think it's 3 months, which I am not a huge spender. Like, that's a lot of money for me to spend. I was kind of stressing actually about like being able to do it. I was like, oh God, I don't know that I'm going to make this. I don't know if I'm going to make it. But then I remembered like I had a conference, Christmas is coming up. I am taking a trip with my mother, and I told my mom, like, listen, I am paying for everything. Like, you can give me your half of it later, but we're putting everything possible on my card. And so that's kind of how we're doing anytime we're getting together. Basically, we're actually getting ready to go do some shopping for said trip next weekend, and I will be purchasing everything, and she will just be sending me the money so that I can get to that 4,000. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, so that's what that is. She did give me the money later. Um, anyway, so I actually found a way to pay my gas on my or my house, like my natural gas bill on this Chase Sapphire card, and I did it. It's actually for next month's. So my budget for next month is going to be $0 because I stupidly paid it on the 25th. Like, I just was so excited that I was able to do it, and I was kind of clicking through. I can't with my electric bill. It's going to charge me a fee. So I was like, ugh. And I know that that will happen with my sewer. I'm positive the same thing would happen with my water bill. So I just didn't mess with those. But with the sewer, I was like, ooh, let me click. And I kept waiting for there to be like a fee that I was going to have to back out of. And there wasn't. And I realized, like, kinda too late that I was sending it early, and I thought, "Oh," I didn't even change the date because I just figured there somewhere when I got to the final stage, there was gonna be a fee, but there was not. So, anyway, that will help because in the wintertime, that thing gets up to, like, $100, $200 a month. So, anyway, paid that out for next month. That was something I wasn't planning on spending. And then I booked our hotels. So when we're going on our cruise, we're flying down early, probably like 2 days early because it is like wintertime. We want to give us some wiggle room in case like there's some travel chaos. And so we're flying down on like a Saturday and the cruise leaves on a Monday. So we needed a hotel for Saturday night and for Sunday night. And then we needed a hotel for the day that we get back. We are getting back on a Friday and then going, on a train on Saturday to go home. So those were the three hotels that I booked, or the 3 night stay. So it's this 545.56 is 2 nights, and then 279.62 is another night. And my mother, was splitting those with me. So that's down here. I have the money she sent me. So this is for $52 is for the restaurant, and then I bought her something. I bought her some apple butter at this festival that I went to, so she gave me money for that. And then that's her half. The 413 is her half of the travel. Which, that said, there is like a refund. It's not a refund per se. It's a like a travel credit. So there's a travel credit for that same amount because I booked it through Chase's um, travel rewards thing for this one, the 279.62. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on because I don't. The Sapphire Reserve, I think, is the one like there's a fancier one that gives you a $300 credit, and I don't have that. Because even when I Googled it, I was like, what is this for? And I'm like, oh, it's a $300 travel credit. And I'm like, wow, then this card's a no-brainer because the card has like a yearly fee of like $95 or something like that. And the article I was reading was talking about the $300 credit. It does a great job to offset like the 500 some dollar fee for the card, which is, I know, a level up from what I have. So I was like, I don't really know what this is. So I haven't actually had a chance to talk to my mom about it yet. She was working. She had a 12-hour day today. Um, but I'm not entirely sure like that's gonna stay gone. Like, I feel like I'm being punked somewhere or something. I don't entirely know. But otherwise, like, I might be sending her half that back. We'll see. So then the next transaction I made, and a lot of this stuff was actually today that I'm recording it, but some of it happened today, some of it happened yesterday. So I'm just kind of sorting out from here. Um, I moved $413 into my travel savings account. And I have since paid them out, but because of the way that I've paid them out, I don't just it's a way that I just keep track of it. It makes sense to me. I guess that's all that matters. And then was able to move $1,000 into my emergency fund. Today's Tuesday. I did a transfer Tuesday. That video came out like yesterday, the day before. Um, then when this actually airs, it's Tuesday now, so I filmed it today, but I don't know when I'm going to post this video. It'll be like Wednesday or Thursday, so who knows. Um, but anyway, that video is already out. I moved $1,000 into my emergency fund, which I'm really excited about because this gives me like 18,500 ish in my emergency fund, which gets me ever so closer to my goal of 20,000. All that to say, um, that's kind of just where I'm at right now. I don't think that I'm really gonna have any other expenditures, but if I do, I will just kinda total them up with my October, wrap-up video that will be coming out as soon as we wrap up the month officially, which I cannot believe is actually here and happening. But anyway, do you guys do weekly transactions? Do you pick a day? Do you every like Wednesday, every couple of days, or are you like some people do it daily? And there are times when like if I'm bored, I'm like, well, I'll just do this quick, you know. I can kind of get into that habit sometimes, but I tend to not. Um, and I think it's a lot easier because I'm just me. I think if I had to manage a household of income, and there were, you know, two people spending money or three people spending money, I think I could be able to do it quite so easily. Or maybe I would need to do it even more so we had a sense of like what money was where, but I have no idea. I don't know that that will ever be something I know. I kind of enjoy the single life. So, anyway, if you are still watching, bless you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time when I talk about my November budget. Talk to you later. Bye. I do